Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about a mistake I used to make that I have corrected and the outcome of the change. You know how as a youth or as a young person you have this idea of what you want your life to look like, right? So you say things like, oh, when I'm 20 I will do this, when I'm 21 this will happen, when I'm 22, you make all these plans in alignment with your age, that at this age I will be here, at this age I will be here, right? I'm going to give you a practical example of myself and what I did growing up and the effect of that action and that thought process basically. So I think I was 18 years old or so. I was in the university. I wrote down something. I wrote down a plan of what I wanted my year to look like, a vision more like, and I put an age to each achievement. So I wrote that, oh, when I'm 21, I would have graduated. 22, I'll be done with my NYSC. 23, I would have, at 23, I said I was going to work for a year. 24, I would go for my master's. I think it was a 2-year master or something. 26, I'll be working, and by 27, I should be married. I recently saw a post about how we tend to plan our lives. But in that particular snapshot, it wrote that we say we want this, and then Asu is looking at us like, And I saw it on a friend's status, and I commented on it. I was like, this is actually my reality. This is actually my reality, except for the parts about getting married at 25, because it was 25 that my life actually started. Now, when I made those plans of what I wanted for each year in my life, right, what it did to me was, truly, yes, I actually graduated and finished school at 21. I finished my NYSC at 22, and at 23 I got a job, right? I was working a job and I was looking forward to going for my master's, but that did not happen. And because I had all of that planned out, I put so much pressure on myself, wanting to meet up to that expectation of what I had written down, but life was lifing. It's like life is lifing, and I was holding on to what I wanted. So there was like a conflict, there was friction. What that did to me was, every year in my birthday, I woke up depressed. I woke up depressed because I hadn't achieved what I wanted to at a particular age. I mean, when I turned 27, for example, I woke up in my family house on my mother's couch. Through that period, it made me feel like I wasn't living up to what I wanted, right? And that put a whole lot of pressure on me. When I saw that friend's status, I commented on it after telling him that, oh, this is my life, except for when getting married at 25. What I've come to realize about doing things like that is we tend to try to be in charge of our life. Like, we want things to go according to how we want it to go. And we forget that we are not the owner of our lives. There's somebody else who owns our life, who has planned our lives for us, and who wants us to work according to the will of what he has planned out. And we tend to fall into depression and all of that stuff because we try to walk in our own will. We're trying to walk in our own will, which in most cases is not in alignment to the will of our maker, which is God. Okay, and that's where depression comes in. That's where the conflict comes in. You see us not living up to that thing. And the funny part is that it's not as if those things that we desire will not come to pass, right? They will come to pass, but it may not just be in the timing that we want it to happen. Do you understand? It may not be in the timing that we want it to happen, but it will happen in the time that the maker has destined for it to happen. Because we are in this world and we walk in time. We are confined in time. But God exists outside of time. God is not confined by time. He's an unlimited God. You can't define God by time. Okay? We, yes, are defined by time, but God is not. So if God has put a desire in our hearts, it will surely come to pass. But in God's time, not in accordance to how we wish for it to be or how we feel it best for it to be. Okay, if that makes sense. In that particular write-up, right, it stopped at 27, and at 27 I was like, oh, my life is over. I'm not married, I've not done my masters, I've not, do you understand all of that pressure? And from then on, I realized that I was getting it all wrong. That's what I came to realize. I was getting it all wrong. Why do I want to live out my life and act as if I own my life? Instead, why don't you submit to your source? Submit to your source so that you can walk in alignment with what He has called you to do and when He wants me to achieve those things. That way you find peace. Right? And going forward, ever since, I have found peace. I'm not stressed, I'm not burdened about, oh, what age I should achieve what and what time I should achieve what. There is no burden, there's no pressure whatsoever. Life is easy, life is peaceful. So that's why I said the mistake that we make is that we tend to live life as if we own it, put life in our own hands, which ends up being in conflict with what God has destined for us to achieve in life. So if this is you, if you are hell-bent on something that you have planned out, okay, with, and you have aligned it with your age number to say, oh, I would have achieved this, I must achieve this by this, and you're going down the line and you find out that things are not going as you had planned. What our advice is, step back and go to God in prayer, go to your secret place and seek the counsel of the Holy Spirit, okay? And ensure that whatever it is that you are writing, whatever goals, whatever desires that you are writing, are in alignment with God's will for your life. It's very important. These things will come depending on what we allow into our soul. So put in those timelines, and knowing at the back of your mind that you don't own your life, right? Go to God in prayer. These desires are in your heart. Yes, they are good. Okay, they are God's will for your life. But the question is, when will they happen? They will happen in God's time. All right. So go to God in your secret place, go to God in prayer, and God will show you how He even wants it to happen, when He even wants it to happen. That way you can live life easy without comparison and all of these attributes that comes from the enemy. So if this message blessed you, please hit the like button, leave a comment for me if you can relate to this, and share your testimony. Basically, I would love to hear your story. All right, bye.